So when I'm working in our before lecture for our digital forensics, just like recap what we did on the lab, Tuesday lab. So on the lab we try to introduce like we need to use different application to work on the USB image. So we need to check the image volume, and then based on the volume we need to recover the photos, right? Okay, so then we'll move on to the lecture. Lecture part will be including the collecting, season, and also protecting evidence. So more about the ideas. And right here, we need to just like have some proper approach to collect and then seizing and also protect that evidence. So the main idea is like what the proper forensic procedure and those like evidence handling and storage format, and then forensically like imagining a drive and then the way acquisition. Okay, right here, including the proper procedure, like including the step one, we have to shut down the computer and then transport the computer to a secure location. And next, prepare the system. Okay. Document the hardware configuration of the system, and then mathematically authenticate the data on all the storage devices. So here's your looks like because we need to understand, because everything here would be we try to collecting the evidence for the criminals like crime, right? So you see most of the with police, they will come, they'll take out your property, keep the property. So they will try to shut down the computer, take it and then transport. Of course, there may be some laboratory, and then they will try to prepare a system and then be ready. So they document what the actually this hardware. So we need to check the configuration, what the hardware they included, and then how can we work on the authenticated data. Okay. When we try to shut down the computer, we need to check certain process, maybe the running process. In the window, we can use the task manager and then take a picture, then a screenshot for record, and then maybe some connection to the system. And the next stack or next sections, so they are like for the connection network, and then the open files. So critical to one, because we need to see, okay, what kind of files do they open? Okay, and here's one of the example like on the Windows. So we can check all the process, like maybe it's IE or they fail. So you see this it's a pretty old Windows 7 or XP, so long time ago. And then you see Microsoft Word like 32-bit. So see, and then Adobe Flash. So you see they already failed, no longer using. So we just take the screenshot, and then next step. So it's another one, check the connection. So what the for address, local address was the protocol. So it's included, and then next session command, and then how can we connect all the next session. Okay, even though it's empty, but we need to keep it as a record. Okay, screenshot, and then open files. So check the open files. So you see maybe some error or nothing SS. So for most like common maybe Windows system, maybe there's nothing really like open it, then it's okay. And after that, then we maybe check the system memory of with the OS, for instance. So it's one of the application they're being to use. So they'll check what's the memory address, and then you see what the things they process executing on this memory location, and then what's the address range, and then what they use it for those applications. So we can save it. Okay, dump the physical memory and then save the crash done. For transfer, after we move the after we shut down, right? So we take all the image and then transporting the computer. So because they keep the evidence in possessions or control all the time, so we never usually they always take those hardware like all the related, no matter computer, sometimes printer, everything. So document move of the evidence between the investigator So you see, and then they try to secure the evidence appropriately, so it cannot be like temporary or like being corrupt. Okay, so maybe also they need to log in a vehicle and drive vehicle directly to lab. Okay, this is how it works like for transporting the computer. Pretty straightforward, nothing tricky. And when we prepare the system, so we need to, for the substrate of the computer, so we need to remove the drives, and also we need to create an evidence form, and also can be a chain of the go through the form, so it can be like this. And then for some mobile devices, they maybe try to remove the SIM card. If necessary, they need to do that. Then you maybe how about eSIM? And eSIM also can be you need to delete it, because some of the devices will dock the phone externally, so without removing the eSIM. So that's a reason. That means that if they stay the connection, so they don't want to, then they will remove it. Okay, it's a old school way, so it's like doing. And then for the evidence form, so here's an example looks like. And for a single phone, that was the case number, evidence number, what's the session, what kind of thing they collect. Okay, what's the address, and then what's the details, evidence, like store location, device type, capacity model, manufacturer, serial number. So all this one. Okay. If you remember, we tried to check the MDF5, MDHA1, the summary we always listening. So it's prepared right here. There's a reason why when we look at the some pack the pack and packet executable, then we always get the MD5 and S1, and then you need to install it and get it. Okay, and then maybe the chain of the custody form. So we give also date, time, what's the officer, and then where the local number or the actual location. So they receive it. Okay. Here's the example, how it looks like. And then after we like shut down computer, ready, take a screenshot and transport to the lab, and then put all those like then documenting the hardware configuration of the system. So before we dismantling the computer, so we need to take a picture of computer from all the angle, and then record the BIOS. So BIOS is the putting like for the Windows system, when you press the button, turn on the computer, so it loads like, so it will have a system time date in the chain of the custody form. So after they restore from the power, that means after you put it, so you need to eject all the removable media and fill out a separate chain of the custody form for each. So that's also you need to do. And then next will be the mathematical authentication data on the all storage devices. So after we imagining the drive and then create a hash of the original and the copy, we always like we will compare the hash, right? So they don't match exactly, then something was like altered. Okay, so the document hashing algorithm used it and results. Okay, so here's the habit in our lab. So you will see we will try to compare and try to match our get the MD5 actual one and check the hash. That's what we need to do. So you see in the imaging the because we if we just like recall what we say from the previous lecture, we never touch the original copy. Okay, so we always try to make an image or duplicate it, make a copy, and then we can compare the hash. Okay, make sure that's it. And then how can we handle the evidence for the digital forensics? So we are the specialists, so they're responsible for finding, preserving, or like preparing some evidence. So including those like collect the data, document the file names, date, times, identify any files or the programs, storage, anomalies, and then get the evidence. Okay, that's what they need to do, like 4 things they need to do. And for the collecting data, okay, includes 3 primary types. So for the forensic investigator must collect, so in this order, for the raw type data, temporary and persistent data. And volatile, that means that they may be running on the RAM, so maybe they will disappear later, or they only appear in the execution state or temporary file, data. So they only created for certain maybe execution or running a process, persistent data. So it's pretty easy. So over there. And then we talk about document the file names, right? Dates and the time. So all those like file name, creation date and last modified date, all the times relevant as a evidence. Catalog, they allocate or erase files. Some like sort the files based on the file names, file size, file content, creation date, last modified dates and time. So we try to short it and sorting the provide the timeline of a computer usage. So it's the idea. So files, all those name, date. So we try to short it and also giving a timeline of the usage. Next will be identify the file, program, and the storage anomalies. So we will text search program and cannot like identify the text data. So store in the binary. So then we need to require some manual evaluation. So we try to evaluate some hidden partitions for evidence or some and document their existence. So in Windows, we will even like evaluate the file in the recycle bin. So what kind of things they trash, okay? And for the evidence like getting measured, including always try to avoid changing the evidence. It's important, don't change it. And determine when the evidence they was created, so as well. And search throughout the devices, and then determine the information about the encrypted and then the staircase file, and also like present the evidence well, like always like documented, screenshot, okay, make a copy, very important. And for the analysis, like after we talk about like files, document, and then looking the file, and the next will be about the physical and logical analysis. For physical analysis, including maybe the URLs, email address, file formats, some damage sectors, data outside the partition, so including. But for the logical analysis, including the partitions, file, the metadata, context, or some data of the data file path, they will overlap. So maybe that we try to like and bring data. So maybe kind of overlap in between. So this how it looks like. It's like physically and then with the logically. How can we do the analysis? Okay. And try to create a timeline. So try to reconstruct the events that lead to corruption of a system. Maybe we need to create a timeline. So maybe they have some challenge with the clock drift, some delay reporting, or with different time zone, then it will cause different timeline. Okay, so try to never change the clock on the subset system, record the clock drift and time zone in use. So we just like keep it so we can calculate. So math, right? And then for the storage format, including some like magnetic media, solid state drive, some digital audio tape, like that. So all these, maybe some magnetic media right now is not common, we barely use, but maybe nowadays use more magnetic tape. And then solid state, right now SD, pretty common. Digital audio tape, maybe yes, right now maybe we still have it, maybe no. And digital linear tape, or like some super DLT, so linear tape, maybe optical media, pretty common. USB, common. And magnetic solid state drive, so we need to be careful because they have like maybe the host protected area, so vendor specific drive space, HPA. So we need also they have the master boot record, MBR. So where the the driver sector remains, so this is called the MBR. And then with the volume slack, also what the unallocated space, and then good block mark as back, including you may consider what's a good blocks and marks aspect, because when we on a magnetic or SSD, so those like memory, so maybe some sections that on the physical drive, okay, so they have some sections, okay, and maybe some block they are fine. Okay, they can be used for storage, but sometimes because the header, okay, with the header, so to say, okay, they will mark, okay, maybe they'll mark some they are bad, okay, and that means they say, okay, you cannot use it. Just imagine it. Okay, maybe suppose you this part you can like put the data, but the header is okay, you cannot use this part because um it already bad, so you cannot put anything over there. So there's a reason because for those hardware have the life period. So after a certain time you cannot use it, or like while your SSD dead. So here's a reason. Because when you over a certain like access, then sometimes you didn't see it because I had the like the driver help you to handle it. Um but once you have like not enough like good block you can use, then you have a failure. Okay, you can use it. For the file stack too. And for those type file format, maybe including some we call advanced forensic format, including encase, generic like forensic zip, GFC, and then IX image. So can be all this format. And we talk about when we take a system, so we need to like create image, right? So for forensic imaging, so it's like just create image exactly bit by bit copy of this. So we copy of it. Okay, because we usually use it for evidence collection without altering the original. So we only touch the image. So it is called, and here's a carry like bit by bit. And then DD is I'm not so sure how many when you work on the like copying files. So this is a pretty common command line we can use. So we can use for imaging using DD or netcat. So if that means we try to check the original devices, and then what's the where to copy it, and then what's the bit size. So like 2048, then we can copy it bit by bit. Okay, so that on netcat. So we can set the forecast server to listen. So we can set like AA to which one, evidence.dd. And then also we can use the dd command to read the first partition. Okay, we can check it. Okay, where's the partition? HDA1, so partition 1 like this. And then the naked, okay, with the port 8888 like this. So here's the steps. Another one is encase, and then we can just make a bit level image and then mount them for analysis. So we can preview them all, and then allow the investigator to use like a normal cable or Ethernet connection to view the data on the subject machine, so safely. And always remember, don't alter the evidence. That's more important. Here looks like the end case. It's a photos like for the case. They will open the case, and then maybe they will give them what's the name, and then who is the examiner, and then what's the folders we going to, and temporary folders or his. So after you click completed, then you create. Okay, maybe you will see right here we have different source from local evidence file and then in case, then you can choose. Okay. And then after you create, then you can edit maybe like image, then you can add to it to the case after you create. Okay. And FTK, so probably we can look at it later. I'm imaging with the forensics 2K, so it's called the FTK. So FTK will take a snapshot of entire disk and then make it a bit level copy for analysis. So it kind of like inexpensive and easy to use and good all-in-one forensics tool. Okay. So it offers a registry viewing, so registry, so we know it, like or in deblocking, standalone disk imaging, and also direct email, and then also the zip file analysis. So it's pretty useful. Okay. So here's the this like FTK looks like. So you can create, so there's an evidence tree, you can have get the file list and then some like customer content source. So that's how it looks like. So when you try to select the source, and then you can choose that maybe you're getting from a physical devices, some logical drive, some image file, or some contents of the folder. Okay, so you can choose that, let's say it's from the physical drive, and then next, and then you can choose, so which drive, let's say this one is a Hitachi, okay, 755. So it's because when you look at this system, it's a pretty old hard drive. Okay. That's it. And then you choose the hardware, then you can click like finish. So for the imaging the OS forensic, so allow you to mount the image to create the other two. Also, it can also allow you to create an image. So both we can mount image or create image. So that's how this one, the OS forensic. So maybe we get the from create image, we get the source piece, and then you can choose completion disable, let's say they'll copy, and then we can just create the image. And then the last part, we call the RAID is for the hard drive backup. So including like maybe the 0, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1% like this. So we can accurate RAID 1 this separately, or 0, 3, 4, 5, 6 can use for data stripping across the multiple disks. So we can do, so we can make the forensic image for entire RAID array. So also we can do in this way. And then for the redundant way of independent disk is called the RAID. So for RAID 0, so it will distribute the data across the multiple disks. It can improve the data retrieval speed. Okay. For RAID 1, just like mirror the disk. So create identical copy of the drive. 3 or 4, just combine 3 or 4 more disks for the fault tolerance, including the parties. So here maybe you learn hard drive. I'm not sure some other course they're teaching the RAID, but these are the storage type. So if you get multiple hard drive, then you can choose like which type of like the RAID we can use. Okay, if you want to like distribute the data, because for different way they have different mechanism to recover the data. So even one is done, like let's say you have 3 hard drive, and then you can choose maybe RAID 3, then you can like 3 hard drive, and then one is done, then we can recover from the other 2. So once you put the new one, replace the new hard drive, then you can recover all the data from the remaining 2 hard drive. So it's still okay. So you won't lose the data. Or RAID 1, so you will like copy identically 1 to 1. Okay. So here and then RAID 5, we're keeping, so we'll combine 3 or 4 more disks together. So they were similar to RAID 3, but just like one thing is missing is the party. Okay, so we just have a party, and then RAID 6, we'll combine 4 or more disks, and then we protect against loss of the, okay, and they will protect against the loss of the data. So on any A2 disk. So that's how it looks like. So you should have some idea knowing how the way working. So 0 distribute data across multiple disks. Okay, and then it can improve the data retrieval. So just like RAID 0, RAID 1 duplicate, RAID 3 or 4. So all these like combine 3 or more disks for the false like tolerance, and then includes the party. So here's that, and then RAID 5 combine 3 or more disks, but just no party, and RAID 6 combine 4 or more. So at least like 4 for RAID 6, and then we can protect against the loss of the data and this. So far quickly we go I just go through the forensics. So we just like have a proper procedure. So what are the procedures, and then those evidence handling. Okay, storage format for image drive, and then the RAID. Okay, so kind of quickly go through all this. Just remember the steps, evidence, don't change it, and all the logical. And when we handle it, always responsible collecting data, including the file names. So we go through all the file names and then screenshot, taking all this. And then when we collecting the data, the hard drive, like what the process, like shutting the computer transport, prepare the system documents, right here. And that's it for this class. Thank you.